Most businesses aren't collecting testimonials properly, and that's a huge problem because testimonials are one of the most powerful sales tools that we can leverage to sell more courses and services online. That's why today, I'm excited to share the top 3 strategies you can implement in under 10 minutes to collect better testimonials and increase your earning potential without any advanced copywriting skills. Hey, I'm Melissa, a 6-figure course creator and the founder of Wit Wire, where we share simplified strategies and tech tutorials to help everyday experts become profitable course creators. Today's topic is huge because strategic testimonials are one of the main reasons why I've been able to earn over $500,000 in online course sales over the past few years. In fact, I have more testimonials than I know what to do with. And that not only speaks to the effectiveness of Wit Wire's programs, but also the systems I've put in place to help students tell me about their success. Those systems were built on a few simple tenets, and I'm excited to share them with you, starting with tip number 1, which is ask better questions. Most business owners ask for a simple testimonial or a review. They'll usually send out an email. It says, click here to share a testimonial. And then they give you just an open-ended field with no further direction. And although that can lead to helpful testimonials, typically you might end up with something short and sweet, or perhaps something that doesn't tell the full story. I took a look back at some of the earliest testimonials that I received, and here's a fictional example that kind of captures the spirit of what those looked like. The testimonials were brief. Most people shared, I love this course. Maybe they shared that it really helped them clarify their ideas, but most of it centered around just the fact that they enjoyed their experience. These testimonials were okay, and they did act as social proof on a sales page. But the real missed opportunity is the fact that we didn't learn anything about the transformation for the student. We don't know anything about who they are, what they felt like in the beginning, and how their life is different now. And that's really where the power of testimonials comes in. Because when your prospects can see themselves in your testimonial's shoes, specifically where they were before they made the purchase, that's when they're gonna start to believe that this process could work for them too. Let me show you an example. This testimonial is from Lucy, a real Wit Wire student, and she shared that before Course Builders, she was providing consulting services, and you'll notice she shared that she thought she needed to have a huge audience or have worked with hundreds of people, and that I helped her overcome that limiting belief, and now she's successfully launched 4 cohorts of her course and enrolled students from 15 countries. Lucy's testimonial shows a clear transformation, but more specifically, it highlights how she felt before joining, which is exactly how prospects might feel as they're reading this page. So when they read Lucy's story and they can see that she was able to overcome those fears and find success as a profitable course creator, that's really what will sell somebody on the program. Here's another example from Theo. Theo shared that Course Builders is one of the best classes she's ever taken. Before taking this class, she had tried to create an online course on her own, but even with the help of online tutorials, she hit a brick wall. Later on in the testimonial, Theo highlights her favorite parts about the program and said very kind words about working with me and the fact that she recommends it to anyone. And again, here you see that transformation. And in that before stage, a lot of prospects, I'm guessing, have also tried perhaps to find tutorials or to do it themselves. But when they hit a wall, they started looking for other solutions. So once again, the fact that Theo was able to enroll in this course and then accelerate her success, that's exactly what a prospect would be looking for when they're making a buying decision. Now, the key to getting these types of testimonials is asking better questions. So rather than just offering a single form field, you could do one of 2 things. The first strategy is to offer 2 or 3 different fields and ask different prompts. Perhaps you ask about how they felt before or what their biggest challenges were and how their life has changed by the end of the course, or even about their favorite parts of the program. That's route 1. 3 separate questions at max. You don't want to do too much to ask for a testimonial. But the other option is to stick with 1 form field, but to offer a few different prompts. So rather than just saying, submit a testimonial here, what I often do is include small helper text that says, here are a few prompts to guide your testimonial, and then students are free to elaborate and include anything that's meaningful for them. But now I've given them the framework to craft a truly compelling testimonial that shares their story and ultimately their transformation. Once you craft those guiding questions, it's time to talk about tip number 2. Make submitting easy. I personally take a lot of courses. I really enjoy learning and I'm always trying to better my craft, but I'm constantly surprised by how hard it is to reach out for support or to submit any testimonials. I feel like a lot of business owners make it very hard for people to tell them how much they love what they do. Making it easy has a few different components. And the first is make it easy to find. I would recommend not only emailing your students to ask for a testimonial, but just include it right in your course. I often put it near the end in kind of a wrap-up section, and that's been probably the number one way that I've been able to collect testimonials from students. As a pro tip, it's equally important to consider when you ask, not just how you ask. So it doesn't really make sense to ask for a testimonial right at the beginning of a course because your student hasn't had a chance to go through the experience and to reach their outcomes. So it makes more sense to put that kind of lesson at the end of a course. And if you're going to send out automated reminders, which I absolutely recommend, I would estimate how long does it take the average motivated student to go through the course and send a testimonial out at around that time, because that way they've had a chance to go through the curriculum and find success before you make the ask. But more than anything, the most practical way to make submission easier is to use a submission form or even a dedicated testimonial collection software. I know this might sound obvious, but I see some businesses just asking people to email them. And that adds friction to the submission process because it is far easier to just click a button and ask for all the info that you need. So speaking of information, the minimum amount of info that you need is their name, optionally a headshot, the testimonial with the guiding questions that we talked about in tip number 1. And as a bonus tip, you do need to ask for consent in order to use this testimonial in your marketing materials. And that can usually be accomplished with a checkbox. As always, this is not legal advice. Please consult a lawyer for any of your specific business needs. If you're looking for my recommendations, you'll find my favorite form builders linked below in the description. Or you can download the free online course toolkit, which includes all of the tools that I recommend. You can grab that for free at witandwire.com/course toolkit. Now, I did mention 2 types of tools. One is a form builder, which can be used to create surveys and collect testimonials for all types of things across your business. On the other hand, you might be interested in a specialized testimonial collection tool because it does offer you some additional features. And that leads us into tip number 3, which is give people options. With a testimonial collection tool, you can offer the option to submit either a written testimonial or a video testimonial. Video testimonials are another great way to boost credibility and to let your prospects hear directly from your success stories. But there are 2 major things that we need to consider. The first is the fact that not everyone wants to submit a video. So it would be a mistake to only request video testimonials. It's far better to give people options because written testimonials are still incredibly powerful. In fact, I'd probably argue that the ideal scenario is having a mix of written and video testimonials because they can be used in different ways and different prospects may prefer reading to watching or listening. So it's good to have something for everyone. But the biggest challenge with video testimonials is collecting the actual video files. If you were to ask somebody to record their own video, they'd have to find a tool to use, do the recording, and then somehow share that file with you. But if you really want video testimonials to be a key part of your strategy, I would recommend using a dedicated testimonial collection tool like FameWall. With FameWall, you can collect a form that gives your students or clients the option to submit a written or video testimonial. And if they pick video, they can record right within their browser. So they don't need an external tool. And after their recording is finished, they can preview the video before clicking submit. The other huge benefit to using a testimonial collection tool is the fact that you can then display those testimonials on your website. For example, with FameWall, you can create a wall of love, or you can just show a few different testimonials here or there and choose different styled widgets. So not only have they simplified the act of collecting testimonials, but also the crucial follow-up of sharing those testimonials with your audience. FameWall has a few additional cool features like the ability to collect tweets that mention your business, and you can display those in your wall of love as well. So if you're curious to try it out, FameWall does offer a free account at witandwire.com/FameWall. I'd love to know in the comments which of the 3 tips you found most helpful. Ask better questions, make it easy, or give people options. And if you're curious to learn more about all of my favorite equipment and software for course creators, you can download my free guide, the Online Course Creator Toolkit, at witandwire.com/course toolkit. You'll also find a link in the description. Before you go, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful, and don't forget to subscribe to Wit and Wire for more online business tutorials. If you enjoyed this video, here's another one I think you might find useful.